Every entrepreneur that is selling high ticket and is building his personal brand goes through the same 3 phases of scaling his business. Now, a lot of people keep applying the same things that they've learned in that particular phase and trying to scale through to the next phase, not understanding what the next phase is about. So in this video, I will teach you and show you what exactly you need to keep scaling through to the next phase so you become the CEO of your business, and why so many people keep applying what they learned here or here and then wonder why they are not scaling. Because every phase is unique on its own. And every entrepreneur starts off in the hustler phase. The hustler phase meaning you have no offer, no audience, no traffic, no clarity, no sales calls. You start from scratch, right? This is how we have all started. You have this brilliant idea, you're motivated, you want to get started, and you need to get scrappy, right? It's a very humbling phase where your mindset needs to be about how can I help clients, how can I close deals, how can I get revenue as quickly as possible. And this hustler phase lasts here at like the below 10K mark, right? You have an offer, but it's maybe not validated. You've sold it a couple of times, like you hardly have any audience, you don't have an organic reach, you're not running your ads, there's no traffic. Like you have maybe a couple of clients that you're helping pro bono or maybe on commission basis. Client results aren't really there. So this is a tough phase, but we all need to go through this to actually start generating our first 10K. All right, because with that money, we can reinvest it back again in our business to make sure we scale through to the next phase. This is humbling, and this is something you need to get through. This is where you're in the beginning stages. So if you're still here, then how I help, because the way I help, and I'll explain that, because that's how we scale people to actually becoming the CEO of their business, so they can work on their business and not in their business by using skill sets and leverage. Those are the main things to actually scale through. Right? If you're still here, then I cannot help you because I don't work with beginners. I used to. I only work with people who are actually in the plateau phase. So if you're here, keep doing what you're doing, knock out your first couple of clients and see how you can scale through to the plateau phase. Because here it's all about getting in revenue, getting in clients, getting in testimonials. This is what you need to focus on in the hustle phase. So what's the plateau phase about, and why is it called the plateau phase? It's called the plateau phase because about 98% of the people get stuck here. Right? So what's the plateau phase about? It's anywhere here below 20K per month. What categorizes the plateau phase? So you went through the hustle phase, you've sold a couple times, like you have some leads coming in, but it's still inconsistent, right? Your revenue is inconsistent. You close maybe between 1 to 6 clients a month. You do understand that high ticket is the quickest way to actually scale your business, but you maybe do a launch or you're still relying on organic marketing. You do a launch every 3 months, you get into new clients, you feel overwhelmed, your revenue drops again, and yeah, it's just inconsistent. You're getting better at what you're doing, like your client testimonials are getting better, you're getting better at sales calls, your sales skills are improving, but everything is still unpredictable. Like there's no foundation of a real business that has systems and people in place that can work if you're not working, because you're still a jack of all trades in this plateau phase. You're trying to do everything yourself, your DMs, your outreach, you're cold DMing people, you're posting, and you're keeping on posting because this is what you've been told, right? You've been told just keep on posting, and things will change. But there's scaling bottlenecks here as well. Like you're wanting to scale, but there's no system in place. It's not a bad phase to be in because this is still a good amount of money. But when I was working for corporate for 10 years as a digital marketing consultant, I started to freelance, and I switched from being someone who was working on the payroll to actually freelancing. And when I was freelancing, I was making about 15K per month. So if you're in this plateau phase, like you're nothing more than a glorified freelancer, but you're taking on a lot more risk and probably a lot more emotional stress as well, as your revenue is like the revenue roller coaster, right? So if you're here, yeah, you're kind of like a glorified freelancer trying to run your business, but you haven't really yet nailed the systems to be a real business owner that can work on its business. So here you're probably also struggling with like your positioning, with your marketing. You understand what it is that you do, but you might struggle with actually formulating it very clearly, who you help, what pain you solve, really being specific on your niche so you are an industry leader in the niche itself. Have a very clear, unique methodology about how you help people that resonates with people, that really hits in the marketing. Like your content sticks, but it's kind of like throwing spaghetti against the wall. You're just hoping that something resonates. So that's what you are dealing with here in the plateau phase. So how do you get from here to actually being the CEO of your business, right? And what's the difference? What's the difference between this phase here, right? Anything here, the red zone where you basically don't want to be, to scaling consistently, to being that CEO that can hit 50K per month or even above. Because once you have figured this out, right, it's just doing more of the same thing to actually keep on scaling. So how do you get here? And what is the difference between the plateau stage and the CEO stage? As a CEO, you have a predictable flow of high quality leads. So you're no longer looking around at where is my next lead coming from. No, you've built systems predictably that generate leads every single day. So you're looking on your phone, or your team members are looking on their phone, and there's leads coming to you, inbound leads every single day, again, 50, 100, 200 of them. So that no longer is your challenge, right? You understand that your lead flow, your traffic flow is the most important thing, and you've tackled that. You tackled that by running simple ads that bring in that consistent lead flow. That's creating leverage, right? The main two words here are skills, leverage. You're creating leverage with your ads. Your leverage is you're no longer doing one-to-one outreach, you're doing one-to-many. And you're putting in money to create more money. So you're building leverage. In business, it's all about leverage, because your time, you only have 24 hours. You probably need to sleep 8 of those. So you need to be more clever with the resources that you have. So this is the biggest differentiator, right? People here rely on ads to solve their traffic flow, meaning they build leverage. They build skill sets. You're good at sales. You invested in sales. You invested in marketing. You understand what good marketing is. You understand the difference between good and great content. You understand the difference between free-flowing a sales call or having a proven sales script that eliminates any objections before you actually pitch, right? This is the big difference here. You become good at marketing. You become good at sales. You become good at client delivery. Those are the skill sets that you need to have. How else do you build leverage? Well, you're building leverage by outsourcing those things you are already good at. You're building team members. You're hiring roles, people who are better than you at those things, right? Here you might make the mistake of actually outsourcing things you haven't really mastered. This is why it's a phased approach. You cannot skip from 0 to CEO, because there's certain skills that you need to understand before you can actually outsource. But once you've gone through here and you understand how to sell, how to market, how to do client delivery, you can also look for people, players that can solve those things for you, can do those things for you so you get more time back. Because if you're somewhere here, you're no longer time rich and money poor, you're time poor and money rich. So you're going to be using your money as leverage to hire more people. You hire an appointment setter who can do the DMing. You will hire a closer who can do the closing for you. You will hire a coach or a customer success manager that can make sure that the client results keep coming in while you get more of your time back. So you're building leverage while you have mastered the skills. You can keep improving your marketing and your content and keep challenging your team members or improving their skill sets. So this is the biggest difference between being here and being somewhere here. Here you build systems, right? You build systems around these two things, skills and leverage. You understand that time is your most valuable thing, and that if you invest your money, you can build and work, as I said in the beginning, on your business and not in your business. So in order to go from plateau to CEO, it's important you start running your ads. It's important to build playing team members, to hire the right people, because it's not just about hiring anyone who calls themselves a closer or hiring anyone who says that they're an appointment setter. Like, I've hired the wrong appointment setters, and now I have an amazing appointment setter on my team, and the difference is like day and night. I've worked with clients who hired a closer who have a fucking 5% closing rate, 3.5% if I'm not mistaken. So understanding how to hire the right people, right, that creates that system. So you become that CEO. So if you're somewhere stuck here, again, in the hustle phase, I cannot do much for you other than saying, like, check out my content, because there's a lot of valuable content, how to nail your offer. But if you're somewhere in the plateau phase and you're stuck between 5 to 20K per month and you want to get unstuck, maybe you've been dealing with this for months, some of my clients actually years, you want to understand how to build that leverage, how to implement these systems. That's exactly what I do, to make sure people get unstuck and scale consistently and building again a business that they love. So if that sounds like you and you're actually serious, I mean, go ahead and book in a call below, or feel free to drop me a DM on Instagram to have a further chat so we can get you unstuck and actually get you to the CEO phase. Because again, guys, this is what we do. It's almost, I want to say, as simple as that, but it's really about how to apply these things correctly to make sure you keep scaling and make an impact in the lives of your clients, because that was what I believe in. I believe that you're good at what you do, otherwise I wouldn't work with you. I believe in your mission, otherwise I wouldn't work with you. And I want to make sure you make a fuck ton of revenue and a fuck ton of money so that you can live the life that you want, not an average life, but an actual life of your dreams, as well as make a bigger impact in the world, because the people out there, they need your help. So if that's you, if that sounds like you, book in a call below and we'll have a chat.